XHS is your channel. XHS. XHS Entertainment.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Barça Hour. It's a segment of COPERACHA football in English with Alex Herrerias. Alex Herrerias, welcome to another one of these. How you doing, dude?
Good, Hess. How are you?
Great. I have all this material about the game. I don't know if you watched it. Did you?
Oh, the material? No, not yet. Just whatever was on the live feed so far. Just reading up new news, mainly on the soccer outlets that I keep up on. But there's been a lot going on the past few days, so there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, dude. Would you want to listen to an interview first, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's do the interview. Let's open up with that one.
Yep. Cool. Let's hear Busquets.
Dejándose 2 puntos en el camino.
La verdad que para la pelea por el título dejarse 2 puntos es complicado porque da demasiada ventaja.
He's saying that giving away 2 points is giving too much advantage. They're gonna try to fight till the end, and they're gonna try. They're asking him if he's happy about the game they've played. He said it was a really difficult. Sorry, I have to pause it. It was a really difficult rival. I'm sorry. You're still on the screen. Sorry.
Te quería preguntar por las 2 jugadas polémicas, los 2 penaltis. Habéis hablado mucho con Hernández. Ha habido amonestaciones. En esa sensación, ese tipo de jugadas, ¿cómo las valoras?
No. Bueno, la verdad que en directo es difícil y bueno, pues cada equipo espera a su favor la actuación del VAR, pero no tengo ni idea cómo ha sido. En directo puede ser una cosa y luego pues en televisión otra, así que no puedo juzgar.
He's saying that he's not who to judge about the VAR. He's also saying that you have a different perspective from outside than you do from inside the field where he's at, so he cannot really have.
And that's something we can dive in a little more on, is whether or not they were penalties and to what degree VAR should jump in. Especially the past game, Busquets you can tell he's not happy with the decisions.
Right.
Either way, I mean, they were for and against Barca, but we'll get to it later on. But yeah, it's interesting that they asked him that directly. I mean, they have to, but you can tell in his voice right there that he was kind of defeated. There's a reason why he was subbed out.
Right. And I mean, he was subbed out really late too. I mean,
right.
Yeah. But
and I'm kind of surprised too, given how late that they were pushing for the attack. I mean, I don't understand why Setién waited until minute 88 or 89 to put Griezmann on.
Right.
I know Griezmann's out of form, but you're gonna need to give him more than 5 minutes in extra time to do what he needs to do. So if anything, he probably should have subbed out a couple players earlier on. Vidal, he's a great go-getter. Him and Ricky Puig we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Both of those guys were the ones that you needed in there. Maybe switch Busquets out in the lineup. Again, he seemed to be the weak link. He didn't give away the penalties. That was Vidal, but because Vidal has to go back and cover so much, that kind of makes him have to be more aggressive. I mean, if you go back and see the replays, Busquets tries to play that pivot role again, but he is not fast enough mentally or physically.
Right. Here, here is the table. We can say how Real Madrid is leading without playing a game, with a game less. He's leading by one. They're leading by 1 point. Atletico Madrid improved since last time we had a show. They're on third place. They replaced Sevilla since then, and the style. Switching back to Quique Setién, the style that Barcelona has been playing lately, it doesn't sue us, as Barcelona fans. We got spoiled with all of the good stuff that Iniesta would give us, that Xavi would give us. That was outstanding, and I think every god that's everybody believed on. I think all of those gods for having to witness everything with Messi, Iniesta, Valdez, Rafa Marquez, Eto, you name them, Silvinho, Dani Alves. We got used to that style, that type of players, and Busquets. He was there, during those times. He was there. He was able to fit in thanks to the sacrifice that Xavi, Iniesta, and everybody else would do, covering up his position, because they thought having a pivot like that was really useful. Someone who just floats around. He's just there in case you have an emergency. You give him the ball and he can either distribute it, or you can use him as a wall, to pass normally the ball back, to secure position. But anybody can do that.
And that's the thing. You can see when he would ask for the ball consistently, and he would feel a tap on his back, and he would drop. And then you look across the field, and you see Ricky running up and down, getting kicked at. He's a small guy, and he was getting back up. I didn't really see him fold over like a chair, kind of like I see Busquets do every other game. And this last one, I was just kind of tired of seeing him ask for the ball and then lose it back and forth. And that's something that Puig doesn't do. He will lose the ball, but he won't give it up. He'll go back to the ball. You can see him. He was playing kind of a center attacking midfield, right wing position, but he would jump
Right.
back to defense almost immediately.
Right.
And that's something that you don't really see Busquets do. Busquets rarely ever goes up on the attack, and then he will eventually give up, or just pass the ball off. And then that's not to his fault. He's not an attacking or aggressive player. So it is better that he stays back, because he's not going to be fast enough to go back like Ricky is.
Right. I think Ricky Puig is perfect for that role. In fact, and let's put some images from the Barça Atletico Madrid. You know, the role that Ricky Puig played was fantastic. He played right behind, Suarez and Messi, and that gave the team a really, really good, Oh shoot! I'm
He's
sharing
like a
this.
creative. He's the creative spark that they've been missing, because Messi can only do so much. Suarez is a finisher and a creator, but ever since they got rid of Neymar, they've had issues filling in that third spot. And he's nowhere near that level, but he's also young, so he could be developed. Ansu Fati his range is mainly on the wings. I don't see him being composed enough to sit in the center.
Right.
It's rare to find a winger who can do both wing play and center play. That's why someone like Marco Reus is rare, but he's also hurt all the time. So
Right.
you can't really extend someone who's used to running and then have them who's used to the center field, and then have them go up and down all the time, because if not, they're going to start getting hurt pretty frequently.
Right.
And thankfully Messi's never had that all too much, but you see Ansu Fati's still young, so he has muscle issues. You saw that with Neymar, Dembele. They were, well, Dembele more than Neymar. but they were injured a good amount of the time.
Yeah, dude. It is hard to come across good players anyway. I was in the meantime I was looking for. I sent myself through email about like 40 images from the and pictures from the game between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid when they tied 2-2. And for some reason the production software is not showing them, so I'm gonna do this and see
Okay.
if that shows it.
While you talk about that, I'll talk about Atletico. I was talking to my dad earlier, and it seems like every time Barca faces them, they always bring out the worst in Barca. Um, Messi usually tries to come to save the day, but the defensive tactics that Simeone has, I would call it parking the bus, but they're also really aggressive to the point that they're almost running you over with the bus.
Right.
So it's nice. It's nice to see Barca have to be turned into gear because a lot of times Barca will start a game, um, possession heavy, pass heavy, and that's their style. But they play like they've already won the game.
Right.
And again, here they were getting walked on all over the place by Yannick Carrasco. He was tearing him apart. Yannick was just going left and right. He forced penalties. He forced bad decision on the Barca team or the Barca defense. So I mean, it's sad that this guy coming back from the China Super League is tearing through La Liga because it shows that he's still in great shape. He's still on top of it. And he was giving Semedo, who's probably one of the better uh, wingbacks right now for Barca, a hard time. And Semedo's really fast by himself, so that tells you just how quick and smart Yannick is.
Yeah, definitely. Yannick is great. I would love to have him on my team. Well, let's go. Let's go to the game. Can you see this magnified penalty against Semedo?
Oh, right, penalty.
This is another view of it.
Mhm.
How it shows you it was inside the box. It's funny to know the VAR didn't go and review neither of the three penalties,
And that's what I was
but they
surprised
did review. Oh, and I have some more interesting stuff. See, the amount of players right here, the amount of players invading the area, when Messi is shooting his Panenka.
hmm
The hell is that?
but they called out Mark when he was already. He did come off the line, but that's the thing is they never call anything against him, and they made the penalty. But again, if they want to do it both ways or one way, they have to do it both ways.
Right.
There should have been a retake, and I'm sure Messi would have done it again, no problem. It is sad that Messi had to settle for the penalty because he was so close. At least three or four times, he kissed the bar a couple times, so he almost had it. Yeah, there he is. I'm surprised he took it with a smile on his face, that yellow.
Yeah. Look at that guy. My God. He
I just want to
is,
punch him, dude.
you know, as a Barcelona fan, we are all messed up. With the team they've developed, they made us think Ter Stegen is such a good goalkeeper, and he's not. Just because he's blonde and everybody talks about him, and I have nothing against blondes. It's just I'm pretty sure
He
that's
fits the
why
bill.
they love him because he's blonde, the guy, and he's not amazing. There are 5, 6 better goalies than him that I can name you right now. Jano Black, Navas, Keylor
Yeah, Black made some
Navas.
crazy stops today,
Uh,
and I wish we could swap them out.
yeah, that'd be sweet.
He's
But
unfortunately the same issue
Courtois is
as
better than him.
yeah.
Andanovic from Inter Milan is better than him. So many people are better than him. Neuer is better than
Him
him.
and De Gea suffer from the same issue of media hype, where Man United want to look so great that they're willing to say De Gea's the best goalkeeper, but he's really not, because look at where Man U is sitting on the table. And
Right.
same thing here, where if he really was the best goalkeeper, then why is it that a team like Atletico Madrid, who's had, I think, like 8 or 9 draws in a row. Yeah, I think they've had 8 or 9 draws in the league on the past X amount of games. How are they losing or tying to Barca?
Right.
Like, if the Atletico, the best that they can do now is play their defense hard enough to get a draw, and look where they're sitting. It doesn't really help them. They're gonna guarantee European spots for the rest of their life, but it's gonna be hard for them to move up.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's talk about this meme that I made. The 700 only.
Yeah. I'm surprised, he makes it look really easy, and again, for such a milestone goal, it's hard to see it done behind closed doors, but he doesn't need an audience. He knows what he's doing, and he did it with such style too.
Yeah, dude. Panenka style. That's how you do it. Okay, let's put the interviews and then we'll call it the show. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. And let's obviously analyze the interviews a little bit. I'm gonna try and see if I can find the pictures of the.
Bona nit a tothom.
Okay. Let's hear.
Le preguntan,
Y ha sido una pena.
Busquets.
Te quería preguntar.
Finish.
En directo es difícil y bueno, pues cada equipo espera a su favor la actuación del VAR, pero no tengo ni idea cómo ha sido. En directo puede ser una cosa y luego pues en televisión otra, así que no puedo juzgar.
de esta manera se excusaba el mediocentro del Barça y después le preguntaban de sus sensaciones tras perder el liderato que tenían antes del inicio del receso de la pandemia y por ende tenían el campeonato, dependía de ellos solamente y se excusó de esta manera.
They asked him what his feeling was after the losing the advantage they had before going on to the break because of the COVID. They basically had the title on their side. They were ahead by like 2 points or more than that. Yeah, but let's hear.
Somos líderes, pero esos
He
puntos
said,
los hemos
"We're-
perdido, como tú dices. Bueno, ha habido
We
partidos
were the leader of the table, but
en el que hemos jugado
lost.
peor y hemos estado peores y otros
We've
que
lost
como hoy,
point
pues yo
in
creo que el
games
equipo de
that
la cara ha
we've
competido más
played
y bueno,
worse.
pues al final por un motivo u otro no
At the end,
nos hemos podido llevar los 2 puntos
for
y
various
eso
reasons,
pues
we
dice
couldn't
que nos aleja un
get
poco más del
those
liderato
extra 2
si
points.
el Real Madrid gana,
The
pero nosotros tenemos que
leaders,
seguir a lo
Real Madrid,
nuestro,
has
intentar pues
gone far
ganar,
away
que es lo
from us.
primordial y si se puede dejar el Madrid
The
lo que
most
queda
important
punto
part
muchísimo mejor, aunque parece
is
difícil
that
porque ellos también están
we
muy
are
bien.
playing well.
De esa manera
And if Real Madrid could lose points, that'd be great for us. This is Yannick, that's what he said. This is Yannick Carrasco. So he's excusing himself, Busquets, because he knows he's not capable. But this is Yannick Carrasco para Movistar LaLiga, I believe.
Yannick Carrasco para Movistar LaLiga a pie de campo le preguntan que
It's
si ha
on the
sido su
field.
mejor partido desde su
They ask him if it's been his best game since since his signing to Atlético de Madrid.
Al final queremos siempre, queremos siempre la victoria. El equipo ha hecho un buen partido, pero mala suerte que no hemos conseguido 3 puntos, pero tenemos que seguir trabajando a lo nuestro para lo siguiente.
Le preguntan si ese punto les
They
vale
ask
y
him-
si le es suficiente.
They ask him if the point is sufficient for them, for Atlético de Madrid.
El mundo, tener un punto fuera siempre es importante,
They
pero
winning
cada
a
equipo
point
quiere ganar.
away is always
Le preguntan a
important.
Carrasco en forma de comentario que el equipo se ha visto abajo.
They ask him how 2 times they've recovered from disadvantage.
Tiene una muy buena mentalidad. No es porque el otro
We have a
equipo
really good mentality.
consigue
It's not because
marcar
the
un
other
gol antes que nosotros, que
team
nosotros tenemos que bajar
scores
los
before
brazos.
us.
Nosotros siempre
That doesn't
seguimos a
mean
lo
we
nuestro,
have to
trabajando
quit.
duro para
We keep on
intentar,
working on our
intentar ganar los
own
partidos.
thing.
Le
We
preguntan
try
que si
really hard
Simeone
to try and win the games. The interviewer asked him if Simeone normally suggests to them to use speed behind, the defensive line of Barcelona, and he didn't really answer to that question. But oh well, here's what he said.
Lo más importante es siempre la
The most
actitud, y
important
creo
part
que
is
nosotros,
our
una
attitude.
cosa que tenemos muy buena es la actitud del
What
equipo,
we
y
have
eso es lo más
that's
importante.
really good
Puede-
about us is our attitude, and
podemos
that's really
perder o ganar,
important for
lo
us.
más importante
We could
es la
lose
actitud
or
del equipo.
win, but the attitude of
Esas
the
fueron
team
las-
is the most important part. Quique Setién, also for Movistar LaLiga, but this audio was taken from Bein Sports.
Quique Setién habla
Okay, here it is. Talking about Griezmann.
Quizás sacarlo, ¿no? Pero era la opción de no
We
sacarlo,
wanted
¿no?
to
Y
put him
siempre
in,
piensas que en un
but
momento
we also had the
determinado, si al final,
choice
pues, te
not
puede
to
hacer
put him
algo,
in.
¿no? Un jugador como
At the
él.
end, we put
Pero
him
no
for a
lo he
little
hecho
bit.
antes,
He's a great
precisamente porque
player. I didn't do it
lo
before,
estaban haciendo muy bien.
precisely
Estábamos
because
jugando un
the
buen
team was
partido,
doing
Ricky estaba
great.
bien,
The team was doing great.
Suárez siempre
Ricky
hay
was
que
playing
tratar
a
de
good
tenerlo en
game.
el campo, Leo igual,
Suarez,
o sea, no es
we
fácil
tried to keep him on the
encontrar
field
sitios
as much as we can.
sin desestabilizar
There's
al
not
equipo,
always to find a place for another player
cambiando un-
without
por-
just,
cambiando por medio, por-
unbalance the
para
team,
Quique,
switching him for a midfielder or a forward is a hard decision.
tú que siempre has hablado del juego, ¿tú estás contento con el juego que está haciendo el equipo? ¿Qué ha hecho hoy?
They ask him if Quique Setién is happy about the work he's doing.
Estoy bastante contento. Es verdad que no hemos podido hacerle más daño a este equipo. Nos hemos puesto 2 veces por delante y esto ha habido un momento que nos ha dado bastante confianza y hemos controlado bastante bien, ¿no? Pero evidentemente no es fácil jugar contra este equipo, jugadores que son muy disciplinados, que defensivamente son muy fuertes y no es fácil, pero estoy hoy bastante contento con el trabajo que han hecho mis jugadores y como hemos planteado el partido.
He said he's really happy with the way the team has come across and played the game. He said it was details that determined that they didn't win the game, and regardless of what we see, the team playing horribly, he saw the team playing well,
Y la última,
and
después de
they're
2
asking him a
que queda por delante,
last question. They ask him, considering what's coming up
y
in the
después de
next
todo lo que ha pasado en las últimas horas,
weeks
evidentemente,
and what's happened in the last hours, the president wasn't present at the stadium. How do you think your reputation is right now? The figure of a coach like you, how is it right now?
Pues como lo que soy, como un entrenador.
He's saying like the way he is like a coach, like the
¿te sientes
coach.
discutido o no?
Do you feel?
No, sí.
Oh, they ask him if he feels like people are talking about him, in a negative way, and he says that he doesn't think that. Ay, ay, ay.
The more and more I'm reading the news is that ties to Xavi coming back as potential manager
Right.
is becoming more of a realistic approach because we've seen maybe Setién is not the style of play. It's like he's getting 80% of the fit right, and then the other 20% is just as important as the 80, and that's why they can't finish the game.
Right.
So right now, they need somebody who knows Barca, not just the league. Setién might be good for the average club because he's played in the league for so many years, but we all know Barca isn't the average club, so why would you hire an average coach? I mean, he has a decent record. Obviously, I'm not a professional coach, but
Right.
someone of a higher caliber seemed better. It seemed like their first and second options were out, so they decided to go through Setién. So
Yeah.
and also, no negative words are being said. It's like, come on, like how? Be realistic. Even if you were doing good at the club, there would still be negative voices. So for him to say that there's no negative voices now, after having dropped points left and right, and after having news coming from the captains saying that there was disputes and fights during training, he's got to be more realistic. I mean, people have access to the news, so he should probably wake up.
Right. You know what you are saying about he's like the second or third choice. Honestly, who do you hire right now? I mean, there's you know, Ronald Koeman, but he's not gonna quit, his good job at the Netherlands just to be with, play for Barca. I mean, to coach Barcelona.
That's the thing. Barca's not proactive. Like we've seen, they tend to buy players who are good players, but ones that are on their way out. Like Yannick, good player, but he's also on the twilight of his career, turning into his 30s. How much more can you get out of him? Messi's already over the hill of 32, 33 now. So again, how much more can you get out of him? Suarez again needs more days to recover, especially with the increased play. You're gonna need players that are younger and better than what you have now. So Barca needs to be thinking that way, and they haven't thought that way of players where the coach, even if the coach is doing well, you might want to have options available. And it seemed like the past three coaches haven't really been super consistent.
Right.
And they've always been talking about bringing Pep back or bringing Xavi, like someone with a big name. In the past year and a half or so, I know Xavi had to wait to get his certification and do other things. And he also had his promise with the Saudi Arabian club. So eventually they'll find a person who knows the system and knows LaLiga. So
Right.
I'm hoping that happens next year because, like we said, the show a couple times ago, Barca has to win every single game, get every single point, and we've seen it where when the pressure gets turned on, they lose points left and right because of draws.
Right.
They're not going to be losing consistent games, but they're going to be drawing, and then they're going to fall into the issue that Atletico Madrid has, where they drew so many games that the best that they can get is 34th place.
I think that's what's gonna happen, my man. Okay.
It seemed like they were okay settling for the draw, whereas we needed the win. But Simeone, he knows how to maneuver guys like troops, so he got the result he wanted.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Simeone knows exactly what to do with his teams. I was talking to Jair on an earlier episode about motivators. For instance, he was mentioning the fact that Hugo Sanchez could have been an excellent coach if he, kept on working on learning more and cultivating his knowledge of soccer, but he relied too much onto just his figure. All the players admire him. What's up?
It's like when Maradona tried his hand at coaching, except I think Maradona did significantly worse than Sanchez.
Right. Yeah, Maradona is way worse than Hugo Sanchez. But the reason why Klopp is the way it is, and Guardiola and Mourinho, is because they know how to motivate the players. The modern player needs motivation. They can't just get up and go training by themselves. They need someone to push them. If it was for them, they'd stay all day, all night playing video games, which we're gonna do later. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get on that one.
Right.
And that's the thing is, right now with young players, they don't hide, and they shouldn't. I mean, it's their life. They don't hide the fact that they do stay up and play games. Like Neymar, when he says he's injured, he is injured. Just
Right.
injury. But then he's always on
We know when he says he's injured in February, the second week of
Yeah,
February.
right. That's
Yeah.
it's always on his calendar.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like they earn millions, and then they take dives, and then they get hurt, and then it's hard for me to feel bad for them because
You can feel bad for a millionaire. You're not allowed to feel bad for a millionaire.
yeah, it's one of those things that even if they are hurt, they're still staying up late, partying, doing things like their recovery is just I don't know, it's just fun time for them.
Yeah,
And
they have
to a
everything.
certain degree, but they don't take care of themselves like they should. Like I remember when Mesut Özil was caught smoking a cigar on like the off season. They made a big deal about it because you're not really supposed to be doing that, and that's the least of their worries, I bet.
Yeah, they don't care about that.
He's
Paul
a-
Gascoigne.
Let him be how he is.
Yeah. No, in my times, Paul Gascoigne he was a gangster. Eric Cantona, another gangster. Yeah, Roy Keane, another murderer. But yeah, going back to the point, the modern players, they can't, be themselves outside their own home. It's ridiculous. They need someone to push them. They need someone, preferably, that they admire. Look at Zidane. He doesn't know tactics to save his stupid life, but he motivates all of these superstars, because all of these guys are superstars. Name one Real Madrid player who is not a superstar. Vinicius? No, he's not a superstar. He will be one day if he learns how to finish. But Kroos,
The starting 11.
superstar. Thibaut Courtois, Ramos, Carvajal, Marcelo, Varane, Nacho, Modric. Oh my God, the best central defender in the world, Casemiro. You name them. Everything except Benzema. He should be, number 10. He should be playing the position that Ricky Puig played yesterday.
Right. And that's the thing is, I don't know, he's the reason why they're winning the games, and he's not, I mean, aside from like the controversial arm, he's been putting in the work, and he's someone who's, you don't notice him every game, but he's there running back and forth. Benzema, he plays for the crest, that's what it is. He's a loyal player.
Right.
And that's something that he's not a young player anymore, and he knows how to play in a mature fashion. And that's something you don't see him too much. That's why Man United had their dip recently, because they have a lot of young players that they have to grow, make sure that they're disciplined to be able to play against first team players like David Silva, De Bruyne, these guys who basically are coming up in a dynasty filled with like Saudi Arabian money, and I know there's a lot of Russian money coming into this one too, and it's interesting to see that they can buy these mature players, whereas you have more traditional routes like Man United trying to grow, and that's what Barca's been trying to do too. They're trying to grow their talent, but at a certain degree, La Masia is not going to be able to produce as much as the almighty dollar.
Yeah, dude. Investing in La Masia and that type of stuff, it's a lot of it. It's really costly too.
Yeah.
It's super costly. Laura Heisdorf was watching. Oh, she's still watching, and a couple of the people were watching on Facebook, on Twitch. Nobody's watching. We normally have one or two people watching. On YouTube, I'm not gonna bother. But let's listen to the last of Quique Setién. It's probably his last interview or press conference as Barcelona coach. Let's put his image over there, and then we'll start with the last 4 minutes of interview, because legally we can only do 4 minutes.
En absoluto.
Let's hear the question.
La metáfora aquella con las vacas paseando y ahora estaba en el Barça, y evidentemente su semblante ha cambiado mucho, la situación también, ¿no? Ha pasado de aquella ilusión a ser ahora mismo un mal trago esto que está usted viviendo en el Barça ahora mismo.
En absoluto.
They ask him about the difference between his first day when he said Barcelona was gonna play an excellent style when he was the coach, and it's been the total opposite. And his response: the situations are really difficult. I'm used to. I don't know how to translate that, but he's saying it will be an anecdote in the future. This pickle they're in,